Welcome to the North Texas Community Difference-Denton, powered by the Difference Media LLC and 2940 The Difference Radio. The voice of small businesses and the communities they serve. Today's show is hosted by Matt Kern, entrepreneur and founder of Denton Does It, and Beth Caudill, realtor with eXp Realty, and Chance Post with Total Care. The North Texas Community Difference Series was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share thoughts and insights about being a professional and the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in a very special way. Because the North Texas Community Difference-Denton
starts now.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday. All right, we're going to get started this morning. Welcome to the North Texas Community Difference-Denton. I'm your host, Matt Kern. And today, my two co-hosts, always keeping me straight, are Chance Post and Beth Caudill. Come on in here, you two.
Hey, Matt.
Look at that. Look at that lighting. Man, that looks good. And his hair, Beth. It's
Man,
just
he
amazing.
looks amazing. And
We're
look at
on
that
point.
microphone.
I know.
On point with my overcompensating microphone.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel intimidated, Beth, because of all of that new technology he's using?
Well, there are all kinds of things I could say right now.
I know you could.
I think I'm just going to say, wow, you guys look amazing.
Thank you. You do too. You always look amazing too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
Yep.
you're taking
And
the
your
high road.
background's always clean too. Doesn't her background always look nice back there too and organized?
Perfect.
Yep. Somebody does that for her, I bet. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No,
So-
nobody does that. I literally changed out that little pink plant yesterday because it
You
looked
did?
like it was dying. Because
Yep.
I am not a green thumb kind of person.
Somebody was posting yesterday of speaking of that, of the succulents, and their kid was making Halloween succulents.
Oh, nice.
Like in little skulls and things like that too. It was really
Mhm.
cool looking.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I need some
Nice.
of those. That would be neat. So what have you two been up to for the last week? I'm sorry that I wasn't here last Tuesday. I missed out on being a part of the singing that
Well, listen, we're
Matthew
going to
Hoover
expect
did.
that from you today.
Of me singing?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
there's
absolutely.
two other people on, or our guest today might be able to sing better than I can.
That's
We'll
right.
have to find out about that. But
Little
y'all did an
surprise.
amazing
Stay
job
tuned.
last week. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
carried it on. Matthew Hoover's got it going on, doesn't he? I mean,
He
he's
does.
got a lot of good things to say. So,
Mhm.
Chance, what's going on in the total care emergency world right now?
Well, we are seeing a little bit of that, little tiny bit of that COVID revival. So everyone needs to be careful. Not too serious, but just a lot of people are getting sick again. So
Yeah,
gotta
it's not
be
good.
be
Do y'all
careful for
have
that.
the new booster shot?
No, we're not. You have to go to a primary care for the booster since now we're not in the pandemic state. We
I
can't.
understand. Okay.
You have to. We're emergency room for emergencies only, really.
Understood. Okay.
Yep.
What's the emergency lineup these days? How long are we waiting to see somebody?
There's no wait. We're very few patients come through a day, so you're not going to get exposed to anything, and you can get right in 5 minutes to see a doctor.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah, great. Yep, it
Easy,
is.
easy parking, easy to get up to, and
Right.
and y'all take everybody's insurance pretty
Take
much,
all
right?
commercial insurance. Yep, and we also
And
now
if they get hurt at work, what happens?
we now can bill their workers' comp, so you can bring your workers' comp claims in, and we can work with those.
That's awesome. Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know because
Yep.
sometimes people don't like going to the hospital because it takes so long.
Right.
On there
Yeah,
too.
and that's really the biggest benefit. If you leave work, you need stitches, you can be patched up and back at work within an hour or two.
Yeah.
So it's
I
great.
get that. Have you ever had to have stitches from work, Beth?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Oh,
I am a big, yes, I have had plenty of stitches in my life. And yeah.
Mhm. When
mhm.
you had that what was the business called that did the tumbling and all that
The
stuff?
little gym.
Yeah, the little gym.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all ever have any major accidents that happened there, or was it all pretty cool?
No, it's all pretty good. I mean, you might
Yeah.
have a busted whatever, but
Yeah,
not anything that would require total care.
right.
She's not looking to get any back lawsuits or have anybody come back
No,
and file
right.
on her.
Thanks for bringing that up, Matt. Right on that.
Wow.
So, what's going on in
Wow.
the real estate market right now?
What's going
Anything
on right now? I mean,
exciting?
so one thing we are always conscious of right now is interest rate.
Yeah.
And what is going on and like where is it? And yesterday it was a little higher, so it is climbing above 7 right now. So depending on what type of loan you get, it was 7.22 or 2 or 3 even yesterday. And so I have lenders that kind of send that out on a regular, and that's for conventional. And if you have a jumbo loan, which just means you're buying something, you're getting a loan 600,000 or so or more. Those are even higher, like 7.4 or something now.
Wow. Wow.
And the FHA is a little lower. VA is a little like they're more like at the 7 mark, but interest rates are really high. So, of course, you already know this, but it's marry the house, date the rate. We can
Yes.
refinance later on down the road. We're seeing a lot of creative lending come about in
Yes.
the housing market right now because, like, the great thought is that once rates do go down at all, we're going to see an influx of people wanting to buy houses. So get the
Yeah.
house you want now
Hey,
when there's
make
not
that point, Beth,
competition.
that if people are waiting, we've been talking about this for several weeks now. If you are on the fence, somebody go kick the fence down so they get off
Prices
the
are going
fence.
up.
Yeah.
When rates drop and people decide, okay, now it's time to buy, prices are going to go up because sellers are going to see the frenzy start. It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And if you see that, we are going to have appreciation anyway, right? So if you're waiting to buy till next year, do a comparison of what that appreciation should be. Look at what your rate will be then when the interest, is maybe a little lower, but there's no crystal ball here to tell us
No,
that.
no.
And then look at what you would pay now and compare because
Yeah.
you're going to see that buying now is the right answer.
And let me say this, if you're deciding that you're going to come live in Denton with us,
Mhm.
you better start making that decision now because there's a lot of people moving to Denton. And this North Texas area of Denton County is really busy and people are coming no matter what, they're still coming and they're filling up the schools. I
Yeah.
was at a school planning meeting last night, and the things that they have for the rest of their bond money that they're going to spend, it's almost like it's like streets. It seems like it's always behind. Not getting done fast enough, and they're cutting it close right now. With the things they're doing, but they're going to work it out. They'll
I
get the
mean,
kids put somewhere.
right, Matt. When you drive around Denton, you see all the new construction.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
lot.
it's everywhere. I mean, it is one of the fastest growing cities in the state.
Yeah.
Counties. Oh, and it was like recently ranked in the top 10 of best counties, right?
Yeah. Well, I think we do have the best county. I don't care what Linden says. I think Denton County's the best county to live in.
Linden
I
might
didn't say I disagreed with that.
Okay, whatever. But we're just saying we know what county you live in. So, and we know what county we live in too. But we're very blessed to be in the North Texas area and to have, all the availability, of things here to live with, and I still feel like it's a good place and a safe place to live, on that too.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
we are all growing, and you see the traffic every day, and we make the best of it, on there too. So
I think growing, like what I would associate with growing, and maybe this analogy isn't right, but when I drive down the highway and somebody tries to swerve into me, because this has happened to me 3 times in the past 2 days, that somebody's tried to swerve into me. That means we're growing. We are crowded, right? And people just aren't paying as much attention as they should, maybe on the road or whatever. But that means it's a busy road. If that can, I was like, whoa, what are you
Hey,
doing?
have you not seen the sign that Chance put on the back of your SUV? It says "Swerve at me" instead of "Kick me."
Wow, that was rude, Chance. How could you do that to me?
I know.
I
I'm
told
such
him
a
not
I
to.
prankster.
thought we were
I
friends.
told him not to. Don't you do it, Chance? And he said, "Don't you dare me," and I did because he said,
Oh
"Don't."
goodness. Oh
On there.
goodness. Where are we going
I
today?
got that
Right.
like off in the car wash.
Yeah, on that. Well, hey, guess what? We've got a lot to talk about today. We have two wonderful guests, and I'm just blessed to have them on and to know both of them today too. And I know Beth is too. I'm not sure, Chance, that you know both of these ladies, but they're awesome. But anyway, we're going to get to know them today. We're going to take a break in just a second. We're going to come back and do our What's Up?
What's up, Denton?
To do that in a minute, and
All right.
then we're going to get to our guests. So let's take a break.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens who want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose, the Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, the Difference, along with many others who believe and support the Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference in helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, we're
We're
back.
back.
We're
Hey,
back.
glad to see you guys. So
Hey.
you know what this segment is, don't you? It is.
Discover
What's
Denton.
up, Denton?
Denton.
It's What's Up, Denton. Hey,
What's up,
Denton, what's
Denton?
going on today? So I've got a few things to go on. I know Beth was really tooting her horn earlier about
Yep.
she's got a lot of good things to say today, so she's going to try to show up us Chance today too. So,
Yep.
but
Good.
then Chance pulled out he's got graphics today too. So I'm glad to see you guys stepping it up there. All right.
That's right.
So did you know that Wine, Women, and Wealth is coming up? Did you know that, Chance? Are you
I did
going?
not know that, but I think I will. I may need to check that out.
Yeah, well, you better not
We'll
tell
check
your
with my wife first.
Take her first, okay? But it's going to be at Stoke this Monday. Let's see. Yep.
4 o'clock.
Ollie's. Did y'all know what Ollie's is?
Yes.
What is it, Beth?
So Ollie's is a store where they sell like supply kind of things, good for teachers. They're inexpensive things that are nice things that people can get.
Yeah.
Ethan in my office will not stop talking about this grand opening that's
Okay.
coming up.
Well, that's
He's so
Wednesday the
excited.
27th.
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
tomorrow, y'all.
Yep.
Like we have a plan to go there and everything. It is a big deal. I drove by it last week and it said, "We are not open yet." They had a great big sign in the
People
window.
were
and
knocking
said,
on the door.
like, so they must have so many people that are so excited to get there.
Well, their tagline is "Good stuff cheap."
Yeah, good stuff cheap. There you
Right.
go.
Hey, the Wine, Women, and Wealth. I'm sorry, Chance is already over. I missed
Oh.
that one. I don't know what's going on.
But
with
hey,
me.
tell them the Ollie's is in the old Albertson Shopping Center there, 35 and Lillian Miller right there. So,
Yeah. Right down
Okay.
past Chili's.
so
Yeah.
Ebby Holiday is in that shopping
Yeah.
center,
Yeah.
Chili's,
FedEx, all that stuff
Fuzzies,
down there. Planet
yeah.
Fitness.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
to give you a perspective of where it is.
Yeah. Okay. Did y'all know that the Western Days in Louisville's coming up this weekend? You know who's going to be playing there Friday night?
Who's
I bet you
playing?
don't know.
Somebody good. It's good.
Mark Chestnut.
Oh,
How long's it been since
nice.
you've seen Mark Chestnut, man? That's back in the days, right? Woo.
But everybody knows his name.
Yeah,
That'll be
that's for
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
There's Vintage Market Days coming up soon. That's out at NRS, in Decatur, which is not too far from us here. Denton ISD is doing the Sounds of the Stadium coming up in October. So a lot of stuff's happening in October. So that's going to be bands from all the different high schools and stuff will be
that's
playing
fun.
there. So it starts at 7:00 on
What
the
day
2nd.
is that on, Matt?
Yeah, huh?
What day is that in October?
The 2nd, October the 2nd, Beth.
Awesome.
Okay. Our peanut festivals are starting around the Aubrey area, all the way up north towards Whitesboro. That's coming up October the 7th. And so
That's
if
a big
you've never been
that
to a
peanut.
peanut
It's
festival,
big. It's big.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's really
A lot
big.
of great,
It's a good
lot of
event.
great vendors and just good times and good food and everything. I don't know that people really realize that the northern, especially Argyle area too, but
Mhm.
that's Argyle is a very kind of a horse area because of the red sand, and the dirt there. In the same way, from Aubrey up towards Whitesboro, is that used to be all peanut farms up there, and now it's all grass farms. But that's what they used to grow all the time. Let's see, Denton Arts and Jazz Festival is coming up, and that starts October the 6th. So that's right around the corner. And Day of the Dead is coming up October 28th. And if you've never been to the coffin races at Day of the Dead, it's right off the square on Hickory. It is crazy. I mean, people come out with every kind of coffin device they've built, and they're fast too. So always fun to see that. Let's see, North Texas Craft and Vintage Fairs coming up. Did you know about Waffles with Wink? It's
Yeah,
coming
that's
up.
tomorrow morning. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm winking.
Are you really
See it?
winking?
This is
I do
my
see it.
winking.
Wow,
I just had something sour.
That's an amazing wink. Like you got something in your eye.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
looks
going to
more like you got
be
something
at
in
the
your eye
Hilton
than a wink.
Garden, 8:00. Right? Starts at 8:00. So
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
8
your
o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
ticket for that. Do you have to have a ticket for that, or you just
You
show
do.
up?
Yeah, you do have to have a ticket.
All right. Do y'all know what else is coming in October?
What?
Well, it's German Fest time, right? Time to get on your what poses? Yeah.
Your Lederhausen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denton County Brewing's going to have Oktoberfest coming up Saturday, I believe. Yep, that's starting. And North Texas Fair and Rodeo's starting their barbecue cook-off in November. So if you've never been to that, that's pretty fun.
Awesome.
We have a little town just out northwest of us here called Crum, Texas. And we have a venue there called 50 West. So all of the cover bands come out there and play. And so we're going to have some really good tribute bands. They've already started, so we've already seen quite a few good ones. But anyway, you can go out there and you can find tickets online for them. And then, of course, in November, what starts up is Turkey Trot every year, too. So that starts down on McKinney,
Right.
goes up through TW University and that type of thing. So also, I want to give a shout out to Dan Gillian. So we all know Dan when he's been on our podcast before, but he owns Gillian Brothers Roofing. So y'all probably saw last week that I had posted, we had a little hailstorm out there in Crum, and I mean some good ones came down about golf ball size, very spiky this year. And anyway, I had posted something and told Dan, I said, you better get ready. People are going to be calling you, for roof inspections. Then all of a sudden I got a text from Dan. He said, hey man, I'm going to be in Crum on Saturday. You want me to come by and look at your roof, and I'll do a report for you and take some pictures. Check it out. So yesterday I got my report and I got my pictures. Everything's A-OK. So shout out to Dan for taking care of me on that too.
Nice.
Awesome. Hey, I got something you forgot. I'm just going to throw it out there. If I picked one thing on my list that you haven't got that I think is pretty awesome, and I know the ladies that are our guests today would appreciate knowing this, on October 5th, you guys, Nordstrom Rack is having their grand opening celebration.
Isn't that here over
That's
on
huge.
Route 288?
Yes, it is. It's over there behind, it's in that shopping center where Old Navy is, Aveda,
Yes.
where we had a ribbon cutting there.
Yeah.
It's right there. That's
Nice.
where they're having, I'm pretty excited about that, y'all. Of
You are.
everything on this list, that's pretty cool.
Because it's shopping.
That's right.
Because
that
it's
why?
That's
cool,
good.
good clothes, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a good deal.
It'll
Yeah.
just be awesome. And it's Nordstrom Rack. So it's
I know.
kind of
I'm glad. I used to have to go to Plano to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now you can do it here, and you don't have to go to Plano or Frisco or whatever.
I feel better now that you've told me that. So I'm glad I don't drive all the way over there and then come back and then realize that it's in Denton,
Right.
So
Well, there is still also alpaca yoga, too, at the Turf Farm up in Aubrey. So I want y'all to know about that. That's on Saturdays. So if y'all want to do alpaca yoga, because that
Are you
just
inviting
seems
us
like
to go?
funny. Yeah, oh my God, yeah. Let's do
I-
it.
I probably need it. My back's been bothering me lately. I think that yoga could help me.
I bet.
If you can't stretch it out, we could get an alpaca to walk on you.
That's
There you-
exactly what they could
Right?
do. Yeah,
Oh, I
get
knew
some
she was gonna
alpaca
get me back.
love. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and bring our guest in, and then we're going to take a break right after that, and then we'll get into a lot of discussion. So these two great people that we have on today, both are from the Denton area. One I've known for, oh my goodness, I can't remember how many years, but I would say from either early 2000s or late 90s. And the other one I just met in this last year, and I love them both. They're really good people. So Myra Oliver, would you come in here, please, ma'am? There you are. Did you get
Yay.
on your laptop?
I did.
Oh my gosh! Listen,
Look how much
good
better that is.
Clear
Is that
sound is.
better? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so professional. So welcome on to this crazy whirlwind that we're doing with this podcast. And then I want to bring Casey Reilly on too. And I don't think you two know each other. Hey, Casey,
Hey,
Hey.
it's good to see you.
you too.
So
Welcome.
I want to introduce you to Myra Oliver. So I do have a method to this madness because I wanted you both to meet each other too. And obviously the podcast was the way to do that. But I think you two are very special people, and that once you hear each other's stories, you're going to want to know more about each other. And I would say that Myra could really pour into your life, Casey, in a good way. And I think that Casey could tell you some things too that she's been involved with over the years that will be surprising and good to know too, Myra. So just saying.
Great.
Yeah. So anyway, Myra is, if nobody knows, is a lot of things. And do you remember when we first met, Myra?
I think I've slept since then, but it's been a long time.
You remember when you used to do real estate?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Remember that? I'm going to say this. You know what Myra and Casey have in common? They both have volunteered a lot over the years.
Yes.
And we all know that in the volunteering world, it's not, we used to say it's the 80-20 rule. 20% of us always volunteer, 20% of us do that. I don't know if it's really 20% of us, but it's the same ones you see, all the time doing that. And Myra was always the one that was just look at you and like, hey, I need you. I'm like, yes, ma'am, whatever you need, let's go. But Myra has been a realtor. She's an investor. She's a franchise owner. She's in insurance. I didn't know that. She's got a title company investment up there in the Kentucky area because she is from Kentucky, and you probably recognize that because of her. You know,
I'm not sure if they'll figure that out when they hear
yeah,
her talk.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And she's also an author of a book, which we're going to talk about today, which I don't know if I ever told you this, but how impressed I was that you took the time to put things down in paper so we could all benefit from your life struggles because you went through a lot to get to that place. You and Rick both did, you know, and that doesn't, happen overnight, does it?
No, it doesn't.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to, girl.
Well, wow. I'm just a Kentucky girl. So when you hear the accent, it's from Kentucky. And as my husband tells the story, I got to Texas as soon as possible. Okay. So I married a Texan. And, I started out as a hairstylist. My grandmother was a hairstylist. And I loved watching how she made people feel great. And over the years, just watching her make people would come in and, as a hairstylist, you're kind of like a psychiatrist. You get to hear a lot of problems and issues and things going on with people's lives that are real. Yep. And I watched her change people's lives. They would come in sad and she would make them beautiful and they would look good and feel good and leave. And sitting there as a little girl watching that, I wanted to do that. I wanted to make a difference.
People will tell you their secrets when you give them a chance, won't they?
They will.
And it's something about that barbershop, beauty salon kind of atmosphere, massage therapist, real estate agent, right? They'll tell you a lot of things. Sometimes the things you don't really want to know, but they're going to tell you anyway, right?
Right.
And then who tricked you into real estate? Who was the person that led you into that?
Well, I know who led me into volunteering for the Board of Realtors. That was Judy Andes, if you remember Judy. But I had bought rental properties since the age of 20. And I retired the first time at 33 years old. I had bought 10 rental properties. And while doing hair, my husband was a policeman. And so we bought rental properties because we knew what we ultimately wanted was freedom. And so our goal was to buy enough property so that I could sell my hair salon and my husband could quit the police department. And so it took us, 13 years of buying properties, and we'd gotten up to where we had 10 rental properties that threw us off enough money to retire, so to speak. And then we just decided, okay, we're going to go be free. And then I got bored. I was too young at 33, and I got my real estate license in my mid-30s. So that's how that started.
Before we take a break and get to talk to Casey, can you tell us in 2 minutes, in the short version, of what you consider freedom is?
Oh, absolutely. Freedom to me is being able to work because I want to work, not because I have to work. And it's building enough passive incomes that pay for my essential living expenses. So there's just no stress. I get to live my life the way I want, because where I feel like I'm at now in my life, especially, is I have more time than I have money. More money than I have time. And I think that that's important. I think people don't realize that time is so limited, but money is finite. And I think that's what's so important.
Yeah. Boy, preach that, sister. Right. Okay. Let's take a break real quick. Good information. And then we're going to come back and talk to Casey.
The North Texas Community Difference-Denton is made possible in part by Beth Caudill and the Make the Move team with eXp Realty. Your trusted partners in Denton County, Texas, for all your real estate needs. We understand the local market and pride ourselves on delivering personalized service, backed by cutting-edge technology. Experience the difference with Make the Move team, and by Matt Kern with Denton Does It. A network of discovery. Effective networking involves active listening, genuine interest in others' work, and a willingness to offer support and resources. Investing time in others will create valuable connections that propel careers and unlock endless possibilities. And Chance Post with Total Care. Total Care has been treating our neighbors in North Texas since 2004 as a family-owned, patient-focused company headquartered near Fort Worth. Offering 10, 24-hour emergency rooms spanning from Weatherford to Garland. You can find links to our sponsors in the comments and descriptions, as well as on our website www.thedifferenceradio.com. If you or someone you know in the Denton area would like to sponsor or learn more about co-hosting the North Texas Community Difference-Denton, please reach out to Matt Kern at matthewdoesit@yahoo.com. And now back to our show.
I forgot to tell everybody, happy Taco Tuesday. Now listen, one thing we all have in common, and I know Myra and I talk about this every time she sees me, she's Matt Kern, where's a good place to go eat? That's the first thing we talk about is the places to go eat. But I know that Casey loves to eat, and so does Beth, and so does Chance. And so we always like to find some good favorite places to eat. So Case, what's been your favorite place to go to lately in Denton?
My favorite restaurant in Denton is the Egg House.
Oh my gosh. Comfort food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 week I went 3 times and I was like, this is too much.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it is? Was it breakfast or lunch?
Breakfast.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
up there on University, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who owns that? Is that
No.
Rocky?
No, it's his brother. Yeah. No, is it his brother that owns that? Or
Luigi?
cousin?
Is that Luigi?
They're kin to Luigi, I think.
I think it's
Somehow.
Rocky. I do think
Okay.
it's Rocky, but I don't know. But I
Okay.
can text Luigi real quick and ask
So
him.
by a show of hands, who loves to make breakfast for dinner? Okay. So are we all bacon eaters and biscuits and gravy, right? Old school on that? Yeah. Myra, when you were growing up in Kentucky, how long were you in Kentucky before you moved to Texas?
My whole life was in Kentucky until
Yeah.
I graduated high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who made the biscuits and gravy in your family?
My mom and dad would trade out, and it depended on what morning it was. If it was on a weekend, because my dad drove a school bus,
Yeah.
and if it was on a weekend, that my dad cooked. If it was during the week, he had to leave early, so my mom would cook.
Okay. I love that.
But
Okay.
hillbillies know how to cook a good
Heck
country
yes.
breakfast.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
Especially because they grew up poor, right? Because that's
Well,
how Barry's folks are.
And you had good
That's right.
vegetables too.
But they
right?
would do that biscuit and gravy, and like my father-in-law says, that's how they. I mean, he grew up so poor, and that's what they would eat is the biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
Hey.
and you wouldn't
I
get the
wanted-
chickens. You wouldn't go get your eggs out of the refrigerator. You go outside and get your eggs in the chicken coop.
Heck yeah.
We got to ask Aaron what he likes for breakfast
Yeah.
for dinner
Yeah.
too.
Aaron
he
Benedict,
commented on it.
he's shouting out. He likes it too. Can I tell you a quick story? Because I got to get to Casey. But so I was working up in northern panhandle kind of Texas for a few weeks. And the only place you could go grab a beer was across the border in this little haydock block little bar. I mean, everything was small, but everything on the bar was pickled. You name it, it was pickled eggs, whatever, pickled pig's feet, everything, right? But next to the building was an outbuilding that was built out of haydock block, and it was the bathroom, right? And in the men's bathroom, there was a long trough, we'll say. And on top of the wall, I'm not kidding, Myra, on top of the wall, about eye level, were chickens. That's where the roost were chickens and where they got their fresh eggs from. So as you were in there using the
In
restroom,
the bathroom?
chickens were looking at you. Yeah,
Ooh.
it was crazy.
That's got to be some kind of health violation.
Yeah. You just don't see that every day, and you don't unsee it either, right?
You never know what you're going to find out when you get on this podcast. That's what I love
That's
about
right.
it.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
not see that. I do not want to see that.
So I'm going to tell y'all something about Case that, we were talking about volunteering, is that that she not only in the work that she does now, but she also volunteers for the Denton Benefit League. She's also working with Denton Recovery in the park, which I want to know more about that. And she's also working with the Phoenix, which I want to know on that. So, Case, thanks for coming on today. This is Casey's first time to be on a podcast, by the way, and she's already a professional at it because she hasn't fallen out on us yet on that. So that's good. And her technical stuff works, which is great too. So welcome to the podcast today. Thanks for being on. We network together. We see each other probably every week at least too, in all of our little circles that we run in. And so I really like you, and I'm glad that I know you, and I appreciate the hard work that you do because, you know, you do stuff that other people don't do, and you seem to have a passion about it. And sometimes I don't have that passion. So I'm glad that I know somebody that does because you set that example.
Oh, thank you.
Don't cry.
I'm getting all emotional.
Good job, Matt.
How you got started in working with Solutions in North Texas, but all of that led you to that too, and then what you bloomed from that.
Yeah. So I graduated high school in 2007. I kind of tore my life apart between that time and 28 years old. And then I got into recovery when I was in my 30s. Before I got into the nonprofit sector, I waited tables and bartended. So if y'all are if you frequent the bars in the downtown area, I might have served you at one point. So that's cool. But I came on to Solutions when I was 30, and my parents actually founded Solutions. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. They're both in recovery. I'm in recovery. We're all very passionate. Solutions is a nonprofit, and they had never really had a fundraiser before. So they kind of behave like a for-profit. And I just have like this belief that everyone should give us this money. So all of a sudden we really switched into like behaving as a nonprofit. And I started having a lot of success, even though I started it late 2019. So COVID hit right after. But it was going good. And my passion, it comes from the fact that recovery saved my own life. So it's easy to like give back in that area.
Sure. You walked it, huh?
Absolutely. And I am definitely a completely different person that I used to be. And now I try to treat people right and, do good stuff for them rather than taking. And so at Solutions, that's what we help our clients do. And it's really beautiful. But to give you a little more info on those other organizations, I think you asked that. The Phoenix is a nonprofit recovery-based kind of extracurricular activity organization. They bring fun games and different fellowship activities to those who are fresh in sobriety. So I'm able to volunteer with them. It's a lot of fun. And then Recovery in the Park is a celebration of recovery. And we just started it in Denton. And we plan to have it next year too. So I'll keep y'all updated on that.
Yeah, that's good. So, Myra, I want to get into the book and stuff in just a second too. But can I ask you this question is why can't companies like the one that Casey works with, why can't companies learn how to leverage this money to go into some kind of investment to be a ongoing residual and source back into their needs that they have? Why don't we see that? Is that out there? Have you ever ran across that?
That's a great question. And I think that, it's all depends on the person running the companies, because, everything's based on leadership rises and falls from the top. Yeah. And I think you've got a lot of companies and you've got a lot of CEOs and companies that are making too much money, quite frankly, and it's not going to the actual cause. And I think there are a lot of issues about that. And I mean, we all know it. I mean, I know when I give my money, I always give my money to the companies that are really, that the money's going to the cause. Yeah. And I mean, I just pay attention to that. And I think more people need to pay attention to that. And so I love what she's doing because it is crucial and we need it more and more. And I don't have to tell you about my state in Kentucky. And my brother and sister-in-law both do a lot of volunteering and helping people who have been addicts that are now in recovery. So I love what she's doing. That's fabulous.
Yeah,
I'd love to get to know more about it too.
Well, see, I didn't know that, but I knew that having you both on, it was like something was like, you got to get Casey on, So anyway, and then she was like, yeah, let's do that. All right. So we have a message for Casey, and I'm going to ask our producer, Lyndon, to come on with us real quick and tell Casey what has happened and transpired over the last couple of weeks.
Well, Casey, I know you know this, but your North Texas Solutions got nominated for our new program that we've been working on for quite a while called the Difference Makers. And what that's for, the reason it was created is because as we've done these shows over the last 4 years, we've had hundreds of nonprofits, local nonprofits that have come on that are doing amazing things. It'll break your heart. They are impacting people in a way that no one ever hears about. And they're making changes and improving our communities in ways no one ever gets to hear about. And what I understood over the time of doing this is that when we created the difference in the community shows, we did so for small businesses, because most small businesses don't struggle or fail because of a bad product or service. They struggle or fail because not enough people knew who they were and what they were doing. Mm-hmm. The same is true for nonprofits, except nonprofits are even more limited because of their resources. So what we wanted to do was create a program, which we have, called the Difference Makers, where we can take the local nonprofits and do a spotlight showcase video for them that we give back to them to use on their own, but that we also run on a bi-weekly basis within our network of over 4 million viewers. So you were nominated, you have been accepted. You'll be getting an email sometime today or tomorrow, but we're so happy to be working with you, and we'll tell you more about it.
Good job. Yeah.
Y'all can't make me cry on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're not going to be the first one that's done it. That's what's so great about these podcasts, is that we all get to see the human side of everybody.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm glad that came along, sister, right at the time we were talking about all of this, right? And then I was like, oh my gosh, she's got to fill this out, right? So
that's amazing.
I was like, did you get it? Are you sure you got it? Yeah. Okay, fill it out. She was Johnny girl on the spot too. She got it done. So that's cool. All right. So we're right at the time we probably need to go ahead and take a break and let Crybaby here dry up his tears.
Congratulations,
Just
Casey.
kidding. Just kidding. But anyway, we'll let you get it together for just a second. Then we're going to come back. I want Myra, when we come back, I want to get into the Down Home Money thing for just a second, and then we're going to get in our topic, because I want to weave the Down Home Money into our topic today too.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Okay, so we'll be back in a second.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Texas Edge Insurance. We're more than just an insurance company. We're your partners in protection. We understand that every person and every business is unique. That's why we don't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to insurance. We work with you to create a customized insurance plan that meets your specific needs. And we're always here to help you, no matter what. We offer a wide range of insurance products. We also work with over 30 insurance companies to find you the best possible coverage. So what are you waiting for? Contact Texas Edge Insurance today. Visit our website or give us a call at 817-406-2929 to get a free quote today. Introducing Bankroll Media, a digital marketing partner designed to take your business to the next level.
At Bankroll Media, we are a team of creative and innovative marketers that works with mortgage loan officers, realtors, many e-commerce businesses, and much more. At Bankroll Media, we're different because you're different. We get it, and that's why we're here. We're not your typical marketing agency. We don't believe in cookie-cutter solutions or one-size-fits-all approaches. We believe in building relationships with our clients and understanding their unique needs. We want to understand your business inside and out so that we can create marketing campaigns that are tailored to your specific needs. From social media management, lead generation, web design to content creation and SEO, even email marketing. Bankroll Media can do it all. Bankroll Media, building presence, connecting ideas.
And now back to the show.
Whew, okay. That was a little heavy for me right there, but that was good stuff. All right. Myra Oliver. Let's talk about this platform that finally came to fruition with Down Home Money after a lot of hard work, I'm sure, and a lot of effort to put this together and then get it down on paper to show other people. But why don't I know that why don't I understand this, how to spend my money differently? Why are we not teaching this more often? And just before you say anything, we had a gentleman on who's an author of books and mega mogul guy, local guy. And Beth had asked him a question about entrepreneurship, right? And in the colleges. And he said, colleges are a good place to go to get your degree, but it's scientific and it's mathematical. It's not entrepreneurship. You don't learn that in a college because somebody there's not one. And then I spoke up and I was like, yeah, if you're going to be a disciple, you have to be discipled by a disciple, and learn it. So you've been on this book tour thing for a couple of years now, right?
Yes.
And what have you learned tell everybody about it first, that they don't know, and then tell me what you've learned in the last couple of years since you did this.
So I learned that writing a book is really hard. And I learned that I learned a lot about myself and about discipline. But back to what you said about him saying that the school, I have a high school education. So I love when people talk to me about education and that you have to have an education the only thing I'd have to have an education for is if that's the criteria to get the job, if I was looking for a job. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to figure out whatever I need to figure out based on what I want to do, right? And I always say that because I think it's important, because people think that it holds them back. They become victims. They think, well, I didn't go to college, so I can't be successful. And listen, you can be anything you want to be. You're this far from being anywhere or anything you want. And so, we can all be victims and be held back if we want to allow that. So first of all, that for me, it's like if I want to be president of the United States, I just have to get after it. And that's how I was raised. And I think it's so important. And I think that we don't teach that in schools anymore. We don't teach people that, about the hustle, because there's a lot of hustle. You can have anything you want if you're willing to work for it. I don't care who you are, where you were raised. I don't care about any of that, because it's all about, we all come from different backgrounds and look what's happened to different people. So I think that's important for people to understand. And Down Home Money came because I wanted people to understand that don't allow your education to hold you back. Don't use those excuses to not have what you want. And I always wanted to share my story because I thought it was, I think there's more people like me out there than they are of the blue collar, I'm a blue collar millionaire. I'm not a white collar millionaire. And there's more blue collars than there are white collar.
Well, surely you found this on this book tour, right? And going to, you've been in, how many states have you been to? I know Texas and Kentucky, right?
Right.
But where else have you gone to and preached this book?
I was just in California with a big group last week. So
Yeah.
I'm all over. And because here's the thing that's a little different and why I call myself a difference maker. I love that. I read that book from John Maxwell many years ago.
Right.
And my goal was always to be able to give back. And Down Home Money is not for profit. Down Home Money is my platform I coach for free. I teach for free. I mean, because I think it's so important that we talk about money, and women in particular, we don't talk about money. And listen, you've got to acknowledge it to know what to do with it. You've got to figure out where you are in order to go where you want to go. And so I'm in a place in my life based on other businesses that this is my passion project. I mean, it is my baby. I walk 5 miles every morning. And when I walk from about 7 o'clock in the morning till about 8:30. And I give my phone number out. I go to seminars. I was in Decatur. I went to a church and taught, and I probably had 100, 150 in the audience. And I gave out my cell phone number because I know the statistics, and I know how many of those people are going to actually pick up the phone, because until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, people don't make a change. Am I right, Casey? Am I right?
Yes.
There you go. And that's in everything in our life. Until you are so unhappy and so miserable, you won't make changes. And money's no different. And money is only good for the good it can do. And so I learned that early on, and I saved my money. I was very frugal, and it has allowed me to where I'm at today, that I can really make a difference with people. And so that's what I did. That's what Down Home Money is. It's a platform. I have a book. I have a website. Everything's Down Home Money. And it is just because I want ordinary people to understand that they can have extraordinary lives. And, you know, we see so much on social media with Instagram and Facebook, and it appears everybody is super wealthy. And here's the stats. 8.8% of our population are true net millionaires. That's it. Now, if you're watching Instagram, it looks like 92% are millionaires and 8% are not. But it's the true stats. And with inflation and everything that's going on in our country, it is more important now than ever that you understand what the dollar means, and that you really focus on your future self and what you do with today's dollar, and pay yourself first. And so that's where I'm at, Matt.
Good stuff.
I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, brother.
Yes, you are.
So I worked with Myra for some years, right? And if she is not a ball of energy, she's not anything, right? I'm just going to tell y'all that right now.
True.
I love her. She's one of my favorite real estate people ever. So, you'll get me crying on here too, you guys. I mean, Lordy.
Well, we have a lot of history together.
I know, we really do. But like one of the really cool things about Down Home Money, what I was going to look up on my phone, but I don't want to be rude, but like she does like YouTube, you know, a YouTube channel, and she'll go on and she'll talk about, and she'll say, hey y'all, this is Myra. I want to tell you about this stock I've been looking at, you know, whatever it is, you know. And then like one of them was like Bassett Furniture, which I thought was hilarious because they're out of Galax, Virginia. And the fact that I know that is ridiculous. Right. But like they're about to have a split. And if you don't know what a split is, this is what happens. And like, and y'all, we get dividends for this. And like, but tell it in a super simple way that is easy to understand. And you're not like elevating your conversation that is so high up in the clouds that you can't understand it. Mm-hmm. And then you can go in there and you can actually go, oh yeah, I have $100 or whatever it is. Let me see if I can do what she's saying and build some of my wealth so it'll help somebody to create wealth in their lives. And like, if you have, you know, some money you can spare from your budget to get that in alignment and grow your life, right?
Yeah.
And to do your big dreams and to get your things you want. And I mean so Myra was with me in a time when I did that in the real estate space, right? When I got in there and I was dead broke. I mean, stupid broke. And I call it my Oprah moment. And I figured out how to go and invest in real estate and what to do and what I needed to do. And like just put into play what some people like Myra told me. And I mean, y'all, it really has made a difference in my life. It has been a difference maker. And these people who are fantastic people, but also they're Denton people. I didn't even have to go out of the city. Right. I could get like my, wealth building information from people within. I didn't have to pay anybody. I didn't have to, go talk to somebody in another state. Like there is great people out there in Denton that can make your life better and for the difference.
So Beth, are you telling us that you were dead broke?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beyond that.
Yeah.
And then you listen to somebody like Myra and you figure out a way to invest in real estate without being dead broke. So there is a way.
Yeah, 100%. So like, I don't know if you know, like a really small little thing, but I had a bad business. I mean, it was a great business, but it didn't financially make money. Right. Yeah. And so then I got into real estate by another person's encouragement. And then I started listening to Jimmy McKissick and Myra, and because they were both investors, right? So I needed to learn, how do I do this? Because I need to make money. Like I am not okay where I'm at. That's how I felt. I'm not okay with this. And nobody's going to make me money. And I got to figure out what to do. And so I started listening to them. There's a few other investors actually in Denton even that I, went to, talked to, saw what they did too. And I kind of put like my own little spin on what I wanted to do. But yes, it like 10 years later, it was ridiculously successful. It turned everything around. Yes, absolutely.
So what you're telling us is we all need to invest in real estate, and then we can take some of that profit and fire it back into the community for people who have needs and help, like what Casey does.
Yeah, and go help people, give to people.
Go help people.
I think most people, if you said, would you rather give or receive? Yes. I think they're going to say they'd rather give. Like, I feel like people with our hearts want to give. You want to give and see how that makes somebody feel. I don't want to give to you see how I feel. I want to give a gift and I want to see how those people feel about it. And
I want you to give too.
I'll give to y'all too.
I know you will.
But like anybody that I can help, I want to help, and I want that will fill me up.
Right. Well, and two is you want to be in that place that you can give and not regret giving. Right? Like, oh, I gave and I shouldn't have gave all that away. Just be the river, not the pond. Right? Rivers always continually moving. Ponds are stagnant.
Yeah. And it takes money. I mean, it takes money to run these organizations. It takes volunteers. It takes people who are giving and willing to give. And so it's just so important.
Well, it's got to come from your heart first. In your mind and in your heart of that idea that this is the process, the method, and the way that I'm going to live. These are part of my values that I hold to, right? No matter what happens, I hold to this. And if I go down in flames, then I go down in flames. But I did my best, right, to do that. So let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to our topic and round out this day. And then we're going to have some fun.
Welcome to the North Texas Pod Connect. The North Texas Pod Connect is a revolutionary way to network that combines the best of traditional networking with the power of the digital world. By utilizing the power and reach of radio, live streaming, and podcasting, and by leveraging the Difference Media LLC's expansive audience of over 4 million viewers and listeners, PodConnect enables professionals to connect with like-minded individuals, share knowledge and experiences, and build personal brands through a unique approach that opens doors to new opportunities, business relationships, consumers, and community leaders. With 3 levels of participation that include co-hosting, hosting, broadcasting your branded business commercial on our website and your PodConnect show, to being a station sponsor where your commercial plays on all of our network community shows, as well as our new radio station. Combined with done-for-you social media content like Reels and Shorts to expand your brand's visibility and reach, all at a fraction of the cost of one studio rental for a 1-hour podcast recording. So, if making high-level connections with other professionals and the residents of the communities you serve would be an asset to your professional growth and business development, then give us a call at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
All right. So our topic this month has been on digital, media marketing, and having this platform of using some type of digital marketing to be a leverage in our business. One thing that I learned in creating videos and editing and all that, and the green screen and all that stuff for years, was I needed to clone Matt Kern, because I needed more than one of me to be in different places all at the same time.
Watch out.
And so creating videos that were instructional or, a tutorial type, or just being a guide, an ambassador to showing somebody, hey, this is what I learned. This is what you do. This is how this will improve your presence on social media. I don't still understand why people don't use it more, because we have so much social media platforms that we can use for free to get our message out, that more people should do that. I think it's just kind of fearful technical issues. They don't understand it too much. They're scared of it, or some people just don't want to be in front of a camera.
Well,
but
and Matt, and also one thing too, I think people get to the fact that I don't want to have to go out and create content. Now I'm doing my job. Now I've got to go back out and get a whole new job of creating content. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things, like, we're all networking. We came on this podcast because we're networking. Yeah. Well, I'm talking about what I'm already doing. I'm not recreating the wheel. We get together. We come to my total networking event. I met Casey. We're working with her. And so it's just a great, don't think of it as, oh, I've got to go out and create content now so I can do social media. Go out and do good things, and then you can talk about those. So if you get out in the community, like the people on the show, like Myra, you're out helping people. People want to hear about that, and they want to find out how they can get help. So right. I think that makes
know that people difference. Understand that. Look, just go out and do your part and say your things, and then that topic that you talked about for 10 minutes or 30 minutes, use that as your content. You've already made it, right? Mm-hmm. Record it, audible or visible, whichever way, and then get out there and go use it, and then allow people, every platform has a live feature. And I keep saying that it's not about the live, it's the rebroadcast, because anybody at any place in the world can watch you and listen to you. And then also know that if they're going to ever use you as, your services or anything else, that what you see on video is what you see in person. And so a trust is starting to align right there. And then that's where our leverage comes from, is like, I saw you on video. I used to do these videos, and then I would go somewhere in Texas and teach a class. And people would have seen that video, and they're like, you look familiar, but they couldn't remember me, right? They didn't know who I was until I started teaching. And then they were like, oh, snap, I just saw you on video the other day, right? Because I was pushing my message in the future before I even got there. So I was already paving a way for me to get in there to build trust with people, so they wouldn't have a wall up and not trust me while I was trying to teach them something.
Right.
Anybody can jump in.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're all trying to do, right? Is create an enhanced visibility, within our digital marketing. So Casey, what are y'all doing in digital marketing that gives you a leverage in your business?
Well, so y'all know this, but of course, everything that we put out has to hit people in the emotions, right? And trying to put out information on addiction is not a sexy, like that's not a cute topic. It's not kids, it's not puppies, it's like grown addicts and alcoholics, So what we have done and where I get the most feedback, because I do all of our print and digital marketing, and where I get the most feedback is when I tell someone's story, or when we show faces. And every time we do that, we get our website traffic shoots up, our donations start rolling in. It's interesting to me because we also put out other things like statistics, and those are just depressing. Right now, we believe the public needs to know about, all these things that we're encountering. But we really, when I came on in 2019, I completely changed the face of how we market, and it has really helped us. We have plateaued. So I'd like to give a small shout out to Matt Hoover and the city of Denton. The city of Denton recently gave us a grant that allowed us to pull Matt Hoover on. So I'm really excited to see what we get up to, because I think he's going to help us liven it up, because
He will.
It's hard. It's hard being a fundraiser when the economy is how it is. It's hard fundraising for the type of mission we have. So it has helped, but you hit plateaus and you have to stay current and relevant.
Right.
And but we do, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
There you go. There you go. Remember that. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, like us, make comments and things like that too.
Yeah.
But you're right about that. Is you've got to see that this is another layer of marketing that must be in your business, and that, I mean, look, there's 2.7 billion users on YouTube. Did you know that, Myra? It's up to 2.7 now. And you've got to get your message out there, and you got to leverage it in a way that people can see that. Well, you got to go where they're looking, right? And like YouTube is a search engine. It's not just there for cat videos, even though that's cool, right?
I will say I did learn how to change the light bulb in my car on YouTube, and it took only a butter knife and a simple thing to do the brake light. And I was like, I saved myself like a trip to the shop. So I was like, hey, this is pretty awesome.
Do you know that since the Difference has been on, that in the last 4 years, there's shows from 4 years ago that are still getting like 50 new views a month? So from 4 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
I mean, I've got some stuff out there that I did with another business. It's thousands of views now over the past 10 years, And I don't know if you guys do Google Guides, but I'm a Google Guide. And so I take pictures and do reviews on restaurants and things too from time to time. And you think, having 250 or 400,000 views of your picture and your response to, your visit to that restaurant, that seems like a lot. There's a lot more even way out there. I'm just on the bottom end of that ladder from some of those people that get stuff out there too. But, we've got to use this tool that we have in front of us to our capacity of what we can. And when we don't know how to use it, then we need to ask somebody like Matthew Hoover to jump on board and go, hey, I need to go to the next level. Or I don't really want to do this, but I know that I need to do this, so I hire somebody else to do it for me, because I need to make that investment, because I know that it's making a difference out there in my community and in my industry too. Right, Myra? I know you do that.
Yep.
That's exactly right. I mean, I feel like that I knew if I really, because, I really wanted to make a difference with my nieces and nephews. I don't have any children. And second generation wealth, they go through the money. It's just a known fact. I'm first generation. And so I just wanted to, I think it's funny because YouTube has made them pay attention to me. So when I started doing YouTube, I was really doing it to get that audience, my nieces and nephews. I mean, I'm just being honest because I was like, if I do it on YouTube, maybe they'll watch it because they won't listen to me when we're at Thanksgiving and we're getting together. And they're all in their early 20s. And I thought, I'll just start a YouTube channel. And they thought it was the coolest thing. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. Right. And then I had to learn about YouTube and consistency and all the things that go along with that. Yep. And, it's working. So they all watch my stuff. I get texts from them telling me, hey, I'm starting my brokerage account and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, it's working. I'm getting to people. So that's what keeps you going, honestly, when he said about the 50 new views per month, it's really true. That's what keeps you going. When people, like I just had an email from a lady who never has replied on YouTube or anywhere else, but she sent me an email because I always give out my email if you have questions that you don't want everybody to know about. And she sent me an email and she just said, I just want to thank you. I've been watching you since the very first video you posted. She said, I've watched every one of your videos. And I felt like I owed you a thank you because you've poured into me so long. So I was awesome. Oh my gosh.
See, it makes it worth it.
You know what? That gets me more excited than money. That's where I'm at in my life now. Things like that and making a difference is way more exciting than giving me money. So I'm like, yes, that keeps me going.
Okay. Are y'all ready? We got 5 minutes. Can you believe that we've blown through an hour already? But I've got some good questions for you. Okay. So I don't think, Myra, where's your favorite place to eat in Denton lately? What's been the best place to go to?
That's a great question. And I hate to say this, but I eat at Chili's all the time because I love their salads.
Their salads are awesome, aren't they? We bring them home all the time.
I feel like Myra's invested in Chili's is what I feel like.
Right.
They're surprising me right now.
It's the simple stuff, sister.
Every week I eat at Chili's. So I'm like, I walk in and the guy goes, hey, Myra, how are you? That's terrible. Okay.
Okay. I've got some would you rather questions. Are y'all ready? For all of y'all? Okay. Case, would you rather have your head be too big for your body or hands that are too small for your size?
Two small hands.
Two small hands, like baby hands.
Yeah, that'd be weird and awesome.
All right, Chance. Would you rather be handcuffed to the most annoying person you know for 24 hours or go camping with someone who likes you but you don't like back?
I think I'll go camping.
Yeah. Really?
I like camping. I like camping. So.
You would put up with it for 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Beth?
I'm ready.
Would you rather blow up 100 balloons or lick 500 envelopes?
I think I would do the balloons.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of air.
I'd buy a pump.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I might do that too, but I was I don't know about the licking thing.
Oh.
Remember what happened on Seinfeld?
That's right.
With licking of the envelopes.
I can't ask Myra that one. That was a tough one. Okay, one more. Would you rather, Myra, have to grow, hunt, or kill your own food, or eat only at Taco Bell for a year?
Gross.
Come on, Kentucky.
I probably would grow, hunt, and kill my food.
I knew it.
Yeah. She'd be making moonshine.
I've always wanted to be on Naked and Afraid. I can get those
Get out of here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Have y'all seen that show called Alone? Where they go out and they're out on alone on these islands and these areas like Alaska for like 100 days on their own.
Ooh, I would love that. That would be cool. That's
Okay.
called survival. That is survival.
All right. One more minute. Case, what's your pet peeve? What's your
When
biggest
my
pet
feet
peeve?
are hot.
What?
When my feet are hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Myra, what's on your bucket list today, sister? What do you
want
got
to
to
go-
do soon?
Yeah, I want to go to Australia.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. We just met a lady from Australia last week from Tanya Blix. She introduced us. She was down here doing some work down here. Very nice lady. Okay. Does anybody have a dream car you have not got to yet? Like, man, if I could just buy that car.
I feel like this is a guy question.
Really?
I mean, I've always wanted a convertible 911 turbo.
There you
That's
go.
on my bucket list.
Yeah. I grew up around the Porsche, stuff when I was a kid on that too. Always wanted one. I never got another one, but maybe. And if you had a autobiography of any of y'all, what would y'all call it? Go.
Down Home Money.
There you go. Beth, you got
Honestly,
one?
me. Honestly, me.
Okay. Case?
Unfortunately here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, it's so dark.
Chance?
Move on.
Seize the day, baby.
Mine
Seize
would
the
be
day. We gotta
bust
go.
or bust. We got to go. Everybody stay on after we close out. Thank you.
Bye.